Hey troops, GeneralJSmith here, back with another comparison, and this time we have got the Battle of the Frigates. We have on the left the Republic Frigate from 2011 versus on the right the Rebel Combat Frigate from 2016. Our first set then is the Republic Frigate, set number 7964, ages 9 to 14, comes with 1,015 pieces, and was retailing 5 years ago for £100 or $120. Versus on the right, the Rebel Combat Frigate from about 1 or 2 months ago, set number 75158, ages 9 to 14, comes with 936 pieces, and is retailing for £100 or $110. So, generally speaking, roughly the same sort of price when they both retailed, although this one does have about 100 pieces more, so I'd probably say this one is the better value for the amount of pieces you get, although that is expected because it is the older set, and generally speaking older sets did have a better price per piece. I'm sorry if you're one of those people who says, oh, you just sound like another whiner saying old Legos be cheaper. In reality, you can't, argue with the statistics. Older Lego, generally speaking, for the amount of pieces, was a bit cheaper. You just can't deny that logic. Anyway though, so today I just thought it'd be kind of fun comparison to compare, of course, the two main frigates. This one, of course, from the Clone Wars, this one from Rebels, although you can use this for the Clone Wars as well, as I said in my previous comparison and in the review of the set. Both of the reviews of these sets will be down in the description, by the way. Both of which, in my opinion, very nice sets. Definitely worth picking up if you have the money. Not, like, up there with the biggest, most main sets, that's ever come out from Lego. They're not the sets really going to say, oh, wow, those are really expensive now. I mean, both of these, not this one necessarily, but both of these, I think when they are retired will go for a fair amount markup on eBay to how they were worth originally, although again not like the Death Star where it's like double the price. They're good sets, they're nice to have, but they're nothing to write home about kind of stuff. Anyway though, let's get straight in and start off with the minifigure selection. The minifigure selection from both of these sets is quite nice, and they both have their standout minifigures, those minifigures which come exclusively to their own sets. Now just bear in mind, this set is 5 years older than this set, so of course the printing and some of the details here won't be as good, or hopefully won't be as good, as these ones. I hope at least, because after 5 years I would hope these minifigures are better, but still. Now as I said, they both do have their standard minifigures which are worth a lot of money these days. This one of course has the adult Ahsoka, Agent Kallus, we have seen before in 1 or 2 previous sets, I can't remember. He's a new character who I forget the name of, but he is an admiral in the Star Wars Rebels cartoon. Of course, of Ezra and Chopper. These two, in my personal opinion, aren't that valuable whatsoever, because not only have we got them in other sets, but the other sets we got them in are fairly cheap and fairly common, so you probably have them. He is a nice character. It is nice the fact you got him, and he is new, and he is, I suppose, a main-ish character in Star Wars Rebels. He's not part of the Ghost crew. We have seen him several times at the beginning of Season 2. Still, it's nice to get him, even if it's not a biggest deal. Agent Kallus, again, I guess is a kind of cool guy, but in all honesty, unless you're particularly into Star Wars Rebels, not the biggest deal. And Ahsoka, in my personal opinion, the highlight of the set, as I said in the review, link in the description. But if you're not really into Clone Wars or Rebels, and you don't really have a particular desire to get a Jedi army of some sort, then not the biggest deal, I suppose. Similar to this end, you won't really be that interested unless you're into the Clone Wars. You have Yoda, who is just so outdated. In fact, even at the time, I believe this Yoda was outdated. I do not like this Yoda. In my opinion, a very, very bad Yoda. I hate the Clone Wars ones. We have these two Jedi, which until recently were completely exclusive to the set. This one technically still is, although we do have another variant, not the same Jedi, but the same species we had in Chance Palpatine's Arrest, Palpatine's Arrest, I think, was a set from 2012. Still, it's nice to be getting in this set, only this set. He's Eth Koth, leader of the Rhino Squad troopers, we've got in the battle pack. I'll show you more in a second. Anyway, we also have Quinlan Vos, who until very recently was an exclusive to the set, although we got in the Clone Turbo Tank, and I believe that version is better, as I said in the review. Still very nice, we got him, and I guess, until just recently, he is a very nice minifigure. And of course, we have these two troopers who are exclusive and very, very nice. Now, of course, I did just do my review of the Clone Army Customs Commander Wolf, and one thing I said in the review was that it annoyed me we never got a Phase 2 one. So until that ever happens, which it probably never will these days, and I've got to be honest with you, it's unlikely that they make a Phase 2 version, but if they do, that'd be great. Anyway, until that happens, we've only got this version, who, again, is still very nice, but he does have some issues, and of course, he has the plastic sort of waistcape here instead of the fabric one, and the guns aren't as good, and just other stuff like that. Still, he's the only variant of Commander Wolf we ever got, and he does have that face printing there, which is exclusive, very nice, and I think he does go for quite a lot on eBay and stuff now, and this is also an exclusive. And technically speaking, we have got a Phase 2 Wolfpack Trooper, which is weird how we got Phase 2 Wolfpack, but not Phase 2 Wolf, but whatever. He also comes with a jetpack. I believe this set also came with another jetpack, although, you can call me wrong, I don't totally know. There might have been another one for him. Still, very nice to get him until very recently. I think the latest one we got was 2014, when we got the other Wolfpack Trooper. But until then, he was the only one we got, so the minifigures in this set were quite valuable, as well as the minifigures in this set. Now, again, as I said, this set is considerably more recent, so the printing is considerably better, and these minifigures won't be as much on eBay because they are, you know, more available at this point. That being said, however, in several years to come, I don't see a lot of these minifigures being that valuable. Again, these two have come in a lot cheaper sets. While it's exclusive, not the biggest deal in all honesty, and just, he's kind of an figure at best. Agent Callus, again, in my personal opinion, unless you're really into Rebels, you probably won't care to get him that much at all, because he's definitely not a main Sith or anything like that. And the main highlight is Ahsoka, who in my personal opinion is a pretty kick-ass minifigure, and I'm really glad I got her, but unless you're into Clone Wars Rebels, not the biggest deal, but I do feel she'll go for a fair amount on eBay in years to come as well. Yoda, not big whoop, don't care. He is cool, although, you know, printing could be a little improved, again, 1011, so, you know. Still nice to add to your Jedi collection. Also nice, although you have a newer version, but it's understandable if you don't want it, because the Clone Turbo Tank from this year kind of sucks, but still. And these two guys, who are very, very nice. So, as you may be able to guess, the overall conclusion, the winner of the minifigure selection definitely has to be the Republic Frigate, even though these minifigures, of course, aren't actually as good in terms of printing. But 5 years ago, and even for now, these I think will be more valuable, and I think these are definitely a lot more sought after than these minifigures will be, because they're mediocre at best. The only one that really stands out is Ahsoka, and even then, unless you're particularly into Jedi, or you really want, like, you're into Clone Wars, or that kind of stuff, you won't massively care. You know, she's a really nice minifigure, and she does have the same sort of hairpiece as, like, Shakti. I think a little different, but still. Overall, the best minifigure here, I'd probably say, definitely one of the best, but overall, it's got to be the Republic Frigate that takes the win. That being said, let us go now into the sets. When you look at these sets side by side, the first thing I think most people will notice is the size difference. You can see this one is considerably longer and wider than the Rebel Combat Frigate. And call me wrong, and feel free to leave your thoughts down in the comments, but I feel this is kind of a growing trend where LEGO is making sets more compact, so the actual size of the set is smaller. This is debatably good or bad depending on really what you're looking for. On one hand, this one is definitely a lot easier to shelf space. I mean, the entire design of it, like the streamlined kind of almost rectangular sort of thing, makes it extremely easy to shelve. It's a very nice shape to put along something, and you know, unlike this one, however, which is just incredibly awkward to shelf, because of course these engines at the back here come out extremely wide. I'm trying to get into the camera view. Come out extremely widely, is that a word? I don't know, compared to the main body of it, so that is kind of a bummer, as well as the fact that we have in the front here this pod, if I can lift it up, which does come down, which is a cool feature, don't get me wrong, but this pod does have quite a fair amount of weight, which means that if you take it out and leave it there, it kind of tips backward considerably because the engines are quite heavy. So this one is considerably easy to shelf for many reasons, but still, the size difference is really quite striking. I mean, really, I can't even exaggerate how much. This one, if you put it like right up to the thing, this one does not even come to the engines. It does. That's the sort of length. If you have a Republic Frigate, then that's the sort of length we're talking here. If you put it right up against the front of the ship, it doesn't even go to the engines. That's kind of ridiculous. But I mean, that's not necessarily a good or bad thing. It really depends. Do you like bigger sets, or do you like sets that are easier to shelf? It really depends. Anyway, so they both come with handles, which is very nice. Of course, now handle is standard. When 2011, handle was quite nice and rare. Overall, they are quite similar in sort of their design. Oops, sorry, I can jog the camera. They are quite similar in their design, in the way they're sort of built, but they're not really LEGO. It's just more Star Wars in general and how frigates are generally built. But yeah, really, there's not a massive amount to really show you other than just like what the actual design of the vehicle in Star Wars is. Lego-wise, there's not a massive amount of difference. I mean, we have on this, the main opening area is these two flaps. I can lift it up, but I'd rather not because I feel it's going to fall apart. It's not incredibly it's not incredibly sturdy, but it's 2011, so you know. There's not a lot of space in here. If you have one of these, you may know that there is not a lot of space in there whatsoever. It is quite cramped. You really cannot put that many figures. I think you can fit all the minifigures you get in the set, but really not a lot more than that. And I've got the exact same on the other side. Whereas this one, the entire flap here can open up, and you can easily lift it up, of course. And you can put significantly more minifigures in here. Oops, can't hold it. Okay, not a massive amount more. You know, there are quite a few sort of bricks here, like this, that's meant to hold on this plate thing. So you can't put like, it's not like the gunship or anything. You can put like a whole garrison of troops in there. Kind of wish you could, but I mean, it's not really meant to be a gunship. You're not meant to put a whole bunch. And I can't put it back on. Why are you not working for me? Why does Lego never work when I'm trying to do the video of it? But anyway, so you can see in the front here we have these turrets that do spin around, and this is meant to have a spring-load shooter in here, or I never keep the spring-load shooters in the things when I've got them on the shelf because it's just so easy to lose them. But But still, the detailing around here, very nice. As I said in the review, a lot of detailing, very nice. And of course, we have the underside here, which is also, in my opinion, very nice. I always like a good underside, which sounds a bit wrong. The underside of this set doesn't look very nice whatsoever. You can see a lot of the Technic and a lot of things like that. So let's just give an example of what I mean when I say this has a good underside, I suppose. But yeah, so overall, nice looking set. It really depends, I suppose. I mean, of course, it depends massively on just which vehicle you like more in Star Wars. But Lego-wise, in terms of building, I suppose I'm going to go with this as the better build. I don't really remember the build of this, but I think this may have been a bit more fun or something. I don't entirely know. But still, I suppose if you're going to go with just the build of the Lego set, again, not necessarily the vehicle, this is not which vehicle I like more, but just Lego-wise, I suppose I would go for this one as the better one, because it is extremely easy to shelve, and especially when you've got as much Lego as me, shelving can be a major issue. So yeah, very nice to shelf, very nice little set. So I suppose Lego-wise, you know, in terms of how good it is at representing the actual vehicle in Star Wars, I suppose this is the better representation. But again, you know, that's just my opinion. Feel free to leave it down below. I'm sure a lot of you prefer this design. That's completely fine. Leave it down below. And let's go now and conclude my comparison of the Republic Frigate versus the Rebel Combat Frigate. I know I did just say I'm going to conclude this comparison, but I completely forgot the instruction manual, so let's briefly go over them. So the Rebel Combat Frigate does come with a single instruction manual. It seems to be a trend they're also doing with more LEGO sets these days, where they have one larger, sort of thicker instruction manual as opposed to the several we have in previous sets. Looking straight to the back, we have in the back here the LEGO Star Wars Force Awakens video game. Hopefully one day I will receive it. This is one of the new 2016 sets, I believe. Also in the back there, of course, you have the 2016 line. You can see reviews of this set. Can't hold up, probably. The Clone Turbo Tank and this set on my channel. I would really like to get the ATT and the Resistance thing at some point, but we'll see what happens there. You'll see the minifigures from this line. Very nice. Although, of course, it doesn't include the actual Rebel Frigate itself for some reason. Still, 2 pages inventory and a, hang on, 135 pages of builds, give or take. Like 286 steps. So, yeah, very nice. Really, I just go over the instruction manuals just for the sake of, well, just for the sake, really, because I can, more or less. I think it came with, can I check? No, I cannot check. I'm sorry, I can't check how many bags it came with, but I think it came with like 6 or 7 bags. I don't entirely remember. Moving the Republic Frigate one, this one actually quite weird because the first instruction manual was actually smaller than the second one. I don't know why that was ever a thing. It always seems a bit weird to me, but as you can see, it does go over the top. Why? I have no idea. Safe paper, I guess? Who knows? In the back, though, there is nothing. It's just simply, you know, turn to page 2. Pretty simple. I'm afraid I don't remember this at all. Oh, no, you can tell. It has 6 numbered bags. Yeah, it came with 6 numbered bags. So about the same amount of bags. So that's something they've kept the same. Of course, you can notice the difference there. Before we had a child, I remember that. I remember we used to have children on the back of our instruction manuals. Now we have robots. That's not really a bad thing. I'm just saying. Anyway, yeah, we had Lego Club, as well as the the Clone Wars video game. Oh, how times have changed. But still, that was a thing back in the day. We had these sets. Both of those sets I do have, and I haven't actually reviewed because I don't have the minifigures, but I'll go more into that in a later video. Anyway, so these are the 2011 Summer line, I think? Yeah, I think it was. We've got the Millennium Falcon, the Sith Infiltrator, Pod Race, that, and the Ewok thingy-majiggy. But there's a review of that on my channel. I think it's my very first classic review, if I remember. I can't quite remember, I'm not sure. But those 2 sets are the only sets I had from this particular line. Well, and those 2, but still. Also, we had, there's more sets, sorry, on the back here. Again, I have those 2 sets, but I'll go through why I can't review them later. I have 2 of those sets, which you can see a review on my channel. I'd love to get that set one day, but I don't. I reviewed that on my channel, go check that out. I've also reviewed that on my channel, go check that out. And I reviewed both of those on my channel, go check it out. By the way, when I said Eth Koth and the Horn Company troopers came in that battle pack, if you are unaware. Still, we have the minifigure selection here. We didn't really get that anymore. In fact, we didn't really get that much at the time, if I remember. But back in the day, we did used to get a lot more. We have the features back here. But yeah, very nice. 2 pages inventory, as you may expect. And, oh, well, you can't really add them, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. I presume it is more than 32 instructions how to build the set, but I just can't bother to add it up. Anyway, that is it then. That's the instruction manual. I spent like 3 minutes talking about instruction manuals. That is so ridiculous. I'm so sorry. Let's now finally go and conclude this comparison if anyone's still watching this. Thank you guys for watching my comparison of the Rebel Combat Frigate versus the Republic Frigate. As I've said a couple of times, both of these sets are worth picking up if you can get them retail value. I mean, of course, this one I think you can actually get a bit cheaper. I wouldn't be surprised if you could get this a bit cheaper by Christmas, because I do feel it is one of those sort of Christmas sets which will go on sale by a bit. As well as, of course, you can't buy this now at retail value. Well, maybe you can, but, you know, you can't buy it from Lego. But hopefully you can find it for a fairly cheap price. It's not like the Tantive 4. The Tantive 4 from 2009, if you're unaware, is a very expensive set now. It goes for a lot of money. And while, in my opinion, this is sort of similar in terms of the design of the vehicle, I don't think it's the same in terms of price. Many people, in fact, are a bit surprised. You may expect this to go quite expensive new because the minifigures and the set itself is quite popular. But in reality, new in the box, it doesn't go for an awful lot more than it did retail. I think the cheapest I saw was like $150 or something. Considering it was $120 new anyway, that's not the biggest markup you could find. So both of these sets are worth picking up if you don't have them already. I think both these sets are reasonably popular. If I had to make a choice, I would say this one is more popular, but that is just because it is Clone Wars. Clone Wars is a lot bigger than Rebels at the moment, or well, not at the moment, but you know, it was. And of course, that this one's been out a lot longer, so more people are going to have it. But this one may be popular as well, I don't really know. Still, both of these sets, very nice. If I had to make a decision, which I do, because it's a comparison, so obviously I do have to make a decision, then I would say the winner for which one you should buy, assuming again they are both retail value, but the winner, I would say, the better Lego Star Wars set is the Republic Frigate. I believe this set is just slightly better than this set. Now, I should probably clarify, I am a little biased. I'm not going to completely say, okay, this one is definitely better for this reason. Overall, both of these sets are very nice, as I've said like 3 or 4 times now. But I just think this one's a bit better for a few little reasons. Number one, the price per piece at the time was a bit better. Also, the vehicle itself is larger. I'm a big fan of larger vehicles. Even if this one is easier to shelf, I'm a big fan of that as well. And the minifigures, again, while some of the minifigures here are pretty nice, pretty cool, and I do really love that Ahsoka, Agent kind of seems to have fallen down. Anyway, overall, Wolf and the clones and the Jedi, just, they have to take it. Even if the printing is not as good anymore, they just have to take it. Overall, this, in my opinion, is just the better set. What really more can I say? That's my opinion. Feel free to leave your opinion down in the comments. I think most of you, if you're a Clone Wars fan, which you probably are if you watch me, then you probably have this set already. But feel free to leave down in the comments. Do you like the set more? That's probably fine. Leave down your reasons down below. But yeah, that's my opinion. I like the Republic Frigate more, just by a bit, not a massive amount, just by a bit, because of course these comparisons are meant to be between two sets, which are quite difficult to disdain, you know. I'm not going to put a battle pack against a gunship or something, that's just unfair, okay? So these two are meant to be close together. Still, that is it to my comparison. I hope you did enjoy it, and I'm sorry if it went on too long. I feel like a lot of my comparisons do. I hope you did enjoy it, which I literally just said 5 seconds ago. But I hope to see you again in another video coming very soon, and I'll see you then. Bye, troops. Hey troops, GeneralJSmith here, back with another comparison, and this time we have the versus the Rebel Combat Frigate from just a month or so ago. Was retailing for £100 and God. The set itself is considerably larger. I mean, of course, you know, you can say either way if it's better. Oh, for God's sake, Josh. Hey troops, GeneralJSmith here, back with another comparison, and this time we've got the The minifigure selection for these two sets are quite nice, and now, of course, you have to take them bear into what? Speak English. Even though this one is 5 years younger, no, older. Shut up. And I think they are both worth the money when they were retailing. What was that? Thank you guys for watching my comparison of the